We've often been told that masturbation is entirely normal, but where do we draw the line? How frequently can you engage in it daily without it being seen as an addiction? What if it's something you can't control? Let's delve into these questions and discuss why it's crucial to reconsider this seemingly harmless act that can pose significant risks to your well-being. Before we start, I want to apologize for the dramatic introduction, but it's important to highlight this modern issue that affects many young people and adults, diminishing our willpower. In this video, you'll gain insights into what happens to our brains, both scientifically and philosophically, and learn what Stoicism has to say about this habit. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Now, let's dive in. Modern medicine recognizes that masturbation is a normal activity, not just for humans, but also for dogs and other mammals. However, this understanding wasn't always the case. Historically, masturbation was often viewed as immoral, particularly for men, because it was believed that it would hinder their ability to reproduce. For women, there was a belief that self-pleasure could make them less interested in relationships with men. Additionally, there were concerns about the physical consequences, with some thinking that masturbation could lead to various health issues and thus should be avoided. Let's shift our focus back to the present. What does current research say about masturbation, particularly for men experiencing insomnia? It's known that masturbation can aid sleep. The French Institute of Health and Medical Research found that after orgasm, the male brain reduces sexual desire. The cerebral cortex, which handles conscious thought, goes into a resting state post-climax. This not only diminishes the urge for further sexual activity, but also promotes sleep. As a result, many men find themselves falling asleep after sexual activity. So, what's the issue? Despite its benefits, there's a potential trap hidden within masturbation. Frequent viewers of this channel will understand what I mean. Masturbation releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter that makes us feel good, providing calm, stress relief, and a sense of reward. This pleasurable effect can lead to addiction for some individuals. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders now includes hypersexuality disorder, categorizing excessive masturbation as a type of obsessive-compulsive disorder, an issue that can cause significant mental and familial harm. In many cases, a lack of control over masturbation can lead to becoming enslaved by one's own impulses, manifesting in increasingly risky and detrimental behaviors. This can include seeking out relationships with prostitutes, engaging in sexual encounters with multiple partners, or, as discussed in a previous video, the excessive consumption of pornography. These behaviors are driven by a dopamine-saturated brain that is constantly searching for pleasure. It's important to understand that addiction to masturbation is rooted in the chemicals released in the brain. When a person masturbates, the brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. Over time, as the brain adjusts to these dopamine releases, it begins to crave more stimulation to achieve the same level of pleasure. This is similar to the way the brain responds to other addictive substances or behaviors. Consequently, your brain will increasingly demand higher levels of dopamine to achieve the same pleasure, leading you to continuously seek new and often more extreme ways to satisfy this need. This cycle can have several negative consequences. Physically, it can lead to exhaustion and decreased energy levels. Mentally, it can result in feelings of guilt, shame, and anxiety, especially when the behavior begins to interfere with daily life and responsibilities. Socially, it can lead to isolation and difficulties in forming and maintaining healthy relationships, as the compulsive behavior takes precedence over meaningful connections with others. The situation can become extreme when the brain recognizes excessive dopamine release and starts blocking receptors in an attempt to regulate it. This leads to a frustrating cycle where the act of masturbation brings no pleasure, exacerbating feelings of dissatisfaction. This scenario mirrors the struggles of individuals who are addicted to smoking, overeating, or drinking excessively. You might be wondering what Stoicism has to offer in this context. The Stoics, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus, approached pleasure and desire from a distinctive viewpoint. They explored human passions with profound insight, offering a legacy that continues to resonate. For Stoics, masturbation wasn't merely about seeking physical pleasure, but was seen as an opportunity to test the limits of body and mind. They viewed it as a form of self-awareness and a path to genuine freedom. According to Stoic philosophy, mastering worldly passions and pleasures is a way to elevate the human spirit and achieve true self-control. Epicurus argued that true virtue is not found in moments of pleasure, but in self-control. In this view, the ability to experience pleasure while managing and understanding it reflects a higher level of self-awareness. Instead of being dominated by our desires, we should master them. Seneca's philosophical perspective aligns with this, emphasizing that Stoic reflection on masturbation involves not mere suppression, but deep understanding and self-mastery. It's about guiding our emotions toward a journey of conscious self-exploration, focusing not just on immediate gratification, but on comprehending, accepting, and integrating our deepest inclinations. From a Stoic standpoint, every action impacts not only ourselves, but also the natural order of the universe. Yielding to intense desires, such as through uncontrolled masturbation, disrupts the harmonious connection with nature that Stoics value. This leads to becoming a prisoner of our desires, straying from true inner peace. Compulsive masturbation can create a storm of emotions, with guilt, shame, and dissatisfaction as constant companions. Stoicism teaches us to manage these intense emotions through introspection and self-regulation, enabling us to face and handle them in a healthy and constructive manner. The Stoics advocate for finding inner peace within ourselves, emphasizing that true satisfaction comes from self-mastery and finding joy in simple, virtuous living. Let me share a personal story for inspiration. I know someone who once struggled with compulsive masturbation, seeking temporary pleasure but facing emotional turmoil afterward. Through immersing themselves in Stoic teachings and practicing self-control, this person experienced a profound transformation. They learned to face their desires and emotions with awareness, finding genuine joy in self-restraint. Now, they live a life marked by inner peace and authenticity, free from the tyranny of momentary desires. True fulfillment is derived from living in alignment with our core principles and values. When we give in to transient desires, we often lose sight of what truly matters in life. Compulsive masturbation can distance us from our highest aspirations and divert us from the true happiness found in virtue and inner tranquility. By incorporating practices like meditation and mindfulness, we can foster the mental calm necessary to resist temptations and manage our emotions constructively. Compulsion becomes a barrier to mental serenity, leading us into regret and pulling us away from the peace achieved through self-control and moderation. My friend, what are you doing with your life? Do you really believe that spending your time watching videos and seeking pleasure through these activities will make you confident and successful? Do you think that after squandering your time and energy, you'll be able to attract meaningful relationships? Whether you're a man or a woman, the answer is no. So, take a moment to reflect. I encourage you to write in the comments that you are a powerful person, that you have control over your mind, and that you choose to engage in activities that truly motivate and improve you. Thank you for joining me. If you found this valuable, please like the video and subscribe for more content.